First at 4, breaking news in a disturbing attack on a Detroit family. 3 people shot, a child beaten, and we have new information on an arrest. Also ahead, under pressure, Democrats say a member of President Trump's cabinet should resign over his connection to a sex trafficking case. We have the president's response. Ben.
Karen, the smoke won't leave us alone. It's back for another day. But how about the storm chance tomorrow? We'll look at that and when the heat returns right now. First at 4.
Local 4 News begins right now with a breaking news alert.
Good afternoon. I'm Karen Drew. First at 4, breaking news out of Detroit in connection with a vicious shooting and an attack on a family inside this home. We've just learned one man has been arrested. Police say a 39-year-old man, a 29-year-old woman, and an 8-year-old boy were all shot this morning at a home on Mackenzie Street near Joy and Livernois. They're in critical condition right now. The 3-year-old girl was also injured, possibly pistol whipped. She is expected to be all right. An 11-year-old boy was able to get out of the house, and neighbors hope the family will be okay.
I feel very sad, and I pray for the whole family that everybody makes it out, especially those babies.
I mean, it's just shocking. You hate to see anything like this happen, especially when you got young people involved. You know, it's just terrible for the community, terrible for the officers.
Right now, we are gathering more information about the arrest. We'll share that with you at 5 in a live update on the investigation and how the victims are doing. On Detroit's east side, another investigation underway after a 28-year-old woman is found shot to death inside a home. That shooting took place on Nottingham Street near Mack and Alter. Right now, police are looking for a man and woman who may have took off in a blue or purple Crown Victoria. Police believe they both could be armed. Now to an update on a story that was breaking yesterday, first at 4. It is a tragic story out of Troy. We now know a 74-year-old woman from Macomb Township was the person that was killed in this crash on Big Beaver and John R. Police say Diana Zaccanini was driving on Big Beaver when another driver crossed over the median, hit 2 trees, and then crashed into her car. Both drivers were taken to the hospital. Zaccanini later died of her injuries. Troy police are still trying to figure out exactly what caused the other driver to lose control. Automotive legend Lee Iacocca made a lasting impression on the auto industry here in Detroit. Today, family and friends have started paying their final respects. Public viewing just got underway in Clawson. Now that runs through 8 o'clock this evening at the Lynch & Sons Funeral Home on North Crooks Road. Iacocca's funeral will be held tomorrow at St. Hugo of the Hills in Bloomfield Hills, and that starts at 11 a.m. Iacocca passed away last week at the age of 94. Today's first forecast, we have 2 words: no complaints. Ben, let's keep it going.
Yeah, Karen, the temperatures are just slowly creeping up. We're still below normal, though, with those highs only in the low 80s. Of course, the big difference today from what we saw over the weekend was no humidity. So this is some very comfortable low 80s, at least for this time of year. Not much of a breeze out there, so that Canadian smoke still lingering with us. We'll finally get it out tomorrow, if not Thursday morning as a cold front comes through. However, we've got a severe risk tomorrow. Most of it is going to be on the west side of the state. We're technically in a marginal risk, but those chances are still pretty low of seeing thunderstorms. We'll run that down, and the rest of the evening just pleasant. Temperatures in the 80s until after sunset. Humidity does come back in short order. We'll check that out in your weekend forecast too, all in a few minutes. Karen?
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Ben. Powerful Democrats want a member of President Trump's cabinet to resign over his connection to the sex trafficking case against billionaire Jeffrey Epstein. We're getting our first reaction from the president. Let's bring in Devin. He is in the newsroom with a growing controversy. Devin.
Sure is, Karen. Alex Acosta is currently the Secretary of Labor, but he was the U.S. Attorney in Miami when Jeffrey Epstein was first charged with sex trafficking. There was a plea deal, a hush-hush controversial plea deal that has outraged a lot of people, including many leading Democrats right now. Charges filed yesterday against Epstein in New York are similar to the charges that were first leveled in Miami in 2008. But Epstein's lawyers negotiated a non-prosecution deal with federal prosecutors while Epstein pleaded guilty to a lesser state charge and spent a limited time in jail. Alex Acosta was the U.S. Attorney in Miami when that secret deal was made. Even Epstein's alleged victims and accusers were not notified about the agreement. Democrats are demanding Acosta resign as Labor Secretary. The president is saying not so fast.
It is now impossible for anyone to have confidence in Secretary Acosta's ability to lead the Department of Labor. If he refuses to resign, President Trump should fire him.
What I do know is that he's been a really great Secretary of Labor. The rest of it we'll have to look at. We'll have to look at it very carefully. But you're talking about a long time ago. And again, it was a decision made, I think, not by him, but by a lot of people. So we're going to look at it very carefully.
Iacocca added his own comments today on Twitter, saying, with the evidence available more than a decade ago, federal prosecutors insisted that Epstein go to jail, register as a sex offender, and put the world on notice that he was a sex predator. Acosta adds, now that new evidence and additional testimony is available, the New York prosecution offers an important opportunity to more fully bring him to justice. So right now, Epstein remains behind bars. Prosecutors arguing he is a danger to the community and an extreme flight risk. He has pleaded not guilty to the charges. A bond hearing is now set for next Monday. That's July 15th. So he's behind bars for at least 6 more days. We'll continue to follow the newest developments from both New York and Washington as they occur. Karen, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Devin. H. Ross Perot, the larger-than-life Texan who made 2 bids for the White House, has died. Perot founded Electronic Data Systems back in 1962, starting with a check for $1,000. Later sold the company to General Motors, becoming an early tech billionaire. He ran for president as an independent in 1992, winning voters over with his folksy, no-nonsense style. He won nearly 20 million votes, but finished third in both 92 and 96. Perot died after a battle with leukemia. He was 89 years old. There have been some changes in the Democratic race for president in 2020. About 24 hours ago, Congressman Eric Swalwell ended his campaign. Now, billionaire investor Tom Steyer has released this ad saying he's running for the Democratic nomination. Earlier this year, Steyer said he would not run, but he changed his mind. He's been pushing for the impeachment of President Trump and is also a huge political donor, giving more than $238 million to other campaigns. Steyer joins a still crowded field of about 24 Democrats. There's another race that will get a lot of attention in 2020. Kentucky Democrat Amy McGrath will challenge Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. McGrath is a former fighter pilot who made headlines in a failed congressional campaign back in 2018. She says McConnell has turned Washington into something we all despise. McGrath says she'll run as a moderate, even as McConnell calls her an extreme liberal. It won't be easy to beat McConnell. If you know or recall, he won re-election in 2014 by 15 points. Here at home, the Real Love Convoy was in town today, and you're probably wondering, what could that possibly mean? Well, believe it or not, it involves a milkmobile. Jason Colthorpe here to explain.
Yeah, the milkmobile, Karen, it's crisscrossing the country this summer in the name of fighting childhood hunger, a problem that affects tens of thousands of kids right here in Detroit. And today it stopped at Ford Field along with 2-time Olympic boxing champ Flint's own Claressa Shields. Claressa Shields doesn't mess around, not even when introducing herself to these Detroit school kids.
My name is Claressa Shields, better known as T-Rex. I'm a 2-time Olympic gold medalist, 8-time world champion, professional boxer. I got 8 belts.
She also doesn't mess around when it comes to child hunger.
1 to 6 kids face child hunger, so that's why we're here today.
That's the stat that's brought the boxing champ, along with some local farmers and even some former Lion greats like Corey Schlesinger and Lomas Brown, to Ford Field to rally with 200 kids.
1, 2, 3.
These children are just some of the 80,000 in Wayne County who are considered food insecure. That means hunger is a problem in their home, especially during the summer when school is out. And Shields is serious about that too.
I grew up in Flint where, I didn't know where my next meal was coming from, so I really want to be a part of this to help kids who go through the same thing. It gets tiring jumping rope. Believe me.
This is all part of a cross-country tour, and at every stop, kids get free milk and other dairy foods. No messing around. Although
1, 32, 33.
Claressa Shields is okay with having some fun with the kids that she was once just like. U.S. dairy farmers are partnering with Feeding America to raise awareness for this issue, and they say a $5 donation at giveagallon.com will help get milk delivered to a food bank in your community.
I love what she's doing because they see her and see her success and say, she's like me, and I can perhaps hopefully do that.
Yeah, and
maybe not win 8 belts,
right.
but
That's tough to, when she said that to them, you could see a couple of the kids going,
yeah.
Don't mess with
I love how confident she was. Like,
yeah.
Bam, that's what I've done.
Exactly.
That's cool. Thank you, Jason. We'll still have the battle over health care coverage, where it stands, and who's at risk. And President Trump suffers a setback in his fight against high drug prices. Also, a look at all that blue smoke. So can you guess what was supposed to happen here? Police released this video with a warning for parents-to-be. You'll see how it went terribly wrong. Later, President Trump is known for his constant tweeting. Now, a federal judge says there's something the president should not be able to do on his own Twitter account. We'll explain when we come back.